Hello, welcome back to the channel. We have a very special interview today with one of our clients, Jason at the Marriage Co. Thank you so much for coming on
Yes.
today. So, you've been with us for 30 days.
Yeah.
So, I want to hear before we get into your experience so far and working with us and the strategies that we've implemented. Just tell us like a little bit about your business and how long you've been in business for.
Yep. So, um, my wife and I have got a lot of history in like one-to-one counseling, different ages, adults, all the way through kids because we worked in schools. And so we had like collectively like over 14 years of experience in those spaces. But we actually I would call it birthed the Marriage Co. 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And because of the sort of community that we're in and the I suppose relational equity we had, we started off really well. Um, had a lot of, word of mouth recommendations and yeah, it went really well. We felt like it was a real calling for us. We had a shocking first 18 months of marriage and it was either like we got to do something about this or we're not going to make it. And so we just tested and tried everything we possibly could to make our marriage awesome, and it ended up becoming awesome. And so we turned it into a business. We started mentoring specifically engaged couples. And then when we sort of went live online, like a Google business, all that sort of stuff, we started getting marriages coming in. And it was from anywhere from like, we're dating and we want to be engaged and we want to be prepared, all the way up to like 35 years of marriage. And so we took them through the process, like an assessment that we do that's extremely comprehensive. But then we also put all of our secret like skills and tools and strategies that we have been implementing on a daily basis, like down to a daily basis, literally, and gave them everything that we've got. And we have seen literally hundreds of couples like have phenomenal transformations in their relationships. And so we were like, look, we want to make this our full-time thing. This is what we want to do. And, sometimes businesses are hard to get off the ground. And so our word of mouth was strong, but the eyes on us weren't as strong. And so that's obviously why we started seeking out opportunities to have breakthrough and have more clients, having eyes on us and things like that. So we've been operating for 3 years and it's going really well now.
So awesome that you guys went through that whole transformation yourself and now felt so convicted to want to do it for others. And yeah, I know you hadn't mentioned this, but yes, you get your clients amazing results. And I believe you guys are like the awarded number one
Yes.
coach.
Yeah, in our city.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was a massive moment for us. I think it was probably one of the greatest confirmations we've ever had about the fact that this business was birthed from our faith and knowing that this is what we've been called to. And so yeah, we had to be anonymously nominated. They had to do all this high-tech AI research throughout, different platforms to see what sort of things people were saying about us, what our recommendations were like, what everyone's satisfaction was like. Obviously, our Google reviews were 5 star. And so we came out as over 95% satisfaction and number one counselors in our entire city. And there's about 800,000 people that live here. So, and there's a lot of counseling businesses. And we were just like, to be honest, absolutely shocked to the bone, especially only practicing for 3 years, officially as a business and having ourselves out there on a public platform as opposed to just like mentoring people word of mouth.
Mhm.
It was a massive shock, but then also a cause for celebration. So yeah, it's the people's vote.
Yeah, that's a massive award. And you said that you were doing mainly word of mouth, growing it through referrals and other people just telling other people about your services. And you
Mhm.
have such great foundation of word of mouth, but at what point did you realize like that wasn't going to allow you to get to where you want to go and impact as many people as you want to?
Yeah, I think it just came down to the fact that I was continuously working in a job that I didn't want to be in. My wife and I work very well together. We're obviously doing it at night times and, fitting it in between our schedule of having little kids. And so, building the business while we were having babies, literally. So, yeah, I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to keep doing what we're doing. We need to scale. We need to get eyes on us. We need to work really hard to create what we want to create, and that is to make this our main, thing that we do. And so it just sort of, in some respects, we were backed into a corner because we had no more answers. Like our word of mouth kept us at a certain level. And we had the equity with the public to say, like, yeah, we're good at what we do, but just nowhere near enough traffic, an opportunity to be able to, talk to people and say, hey, this is something that you really should choose, like, because we are going to help you. So,
Mm. Okay, and so that was kind of like the turning point where you realize we're at this level, we can sustain this, but we know we can get to another level if we get more eyeballs on us. So, what were your thoughts on running paid ads?
um, to be honest, like I'd been looking for options of making money online for like since 2019, just like when COVID just blew open and sorry, since then and then COVID happened, it was like this really needs to happen. And to be honest, like my wife and I discussed it so many times, but never found a fitting business that had the same values as us and the same sort of drive as us. And then um yeah, my understanding of paid ads, I knew that it would work. My wife's understanding of paid ads was like this is a complete like money pit because we'd tried it and got nowhere because we didn't know how to do it. And so obviously then coming into the opportunity that we had now, um the return on what we've been able to spend on ads and the return that's come from that has been like, wow, going on this journey has certainly opened our eyes.
Mhm. So let's get into that a little bit because beforehand, your funnel was just like someone tells someone, I'm assuming, and then they make that handoff. Or you're also, I know you were doing a bit with Google as well. Um, but now that you've kind of set up these systems, so for people watching right now and they're curious, like, what is that system we set up? How has that experience been in the past month?
Yes, the experience has been amazing in the sense of like it's helped both ends of our business. And what I mean by that was obviously we had a lot of organic, word of mouth incoming traffic in this, and people going through, the Google business mainly. And through going through this process and what we've been able to do is actually build most of our traffic coming from our social media, which was very dead. After having kids, we barely had any engagement whatsoever. We were off it for like a year anyway. And so, excuse me. Um, Now we are very heavily, involved in our Instagram online. And what we've found is that people are seeing us on our Instagram. We've got our website link in our bio, and um, you know, they're coming through direct messaging, but mainly they're clicking on our link on our bio and then going through the avenue of our website, which is then hosting our information, our video to tell everyone about what we do, which was part of the process that obviously we went on with you. And so people are getting a way better view of what they're going to do and what they're going to get when they're engaging with Naomi and myself and the process that we work through. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I
So
think
from both,
that,
if it's organic or if it's like we're getting people to come in through paid ads, they are landing at the same point of contact, which is amazing because that's part of the process that you were to help us build. And then we're actually having a more ongoing conversation with them as opposed to us being nameless and faceless.
yeah, that's amazing. And then in that first 7 days of you joining us, I think there was one specific thing where you guys did. Do you remember the post? And it
Mhm.
kind of helped you to get started on the right path and see like, okay, this
Sure.
is working.
Yeah, so we did a welcome to our page video, and it just had so much traction and engagement back into our platform, which we hadn't had for so long. because people know of us, but they it's like they hadn't seen us enough. And so just purely from that, um, it was not a paid ad or anything like that. Just purely from that video, we got four like organic type, incoming clients that wanted to work with us just simply by making that step, changing our bio up to what you were really helpful in, and making it really easy for people to connect with us.
Yeah, that's such an essential part of the funnel. So Jason mentioned, the video that we help them set up that kind of positions their offer to the market. And then also optimizing their Instagram so that when they are running paid ads, we're making sure all the eyeballs that come to our page we're making use of. So I know that we haven't really explicitly said like any results that you've gotten. So maybe you can share results that you've gotten in the past
Sure,
month.
sure. Well, do you mean through the process or before?
We can
Or
do
just
both.
process? Okay, cool. So look, like I suppose you would class the business that, we had organically as purely like a side hustle. It was just enough to like really help us live just above the line of, the like $1,800 a week that it costs to just exist on planet Earth these days, especially in Australia. And so it was enough to just keep us above the line, with me working full time, my wife obviously having two kids, and then the extra work that the business was getting. But now I'm very excited because we both had obviously the biggest amount of income in 1 week that we've ever experienced before. And so in our first 30 days, going through the really rigorous process to begin with and building all the infrastructure, we had $9,000 worth of clients come in a 7 day period of that process. And so once everything was in place, that was the result for us, which was absolutely incredible. And what it did was just confirm with us that it absolutely in every way does work. And for us now, there's a high level of confidence that it's now just rinse, repeat, refine, and we don't have to rebuild or build now. It's just
Yeah,
keep tightening everything up so much, rinse, repeat, refine until our our process for our business that represents us really well, but does the fundamentals well, continues to help people and serve people into a transformed marriage. So,
incredible. Yeah, congratulations on that. And I want to share a few things that I noticed when you came into the program that I noticed with clients who get results. And one is like speed is king. So as you were implementing the system, yes, it can be hard at times. I know there's like hiccups that come up with technology, filming, all the things. But through that, you remain persistent and
mm,
still showed up. You completed the action items that we had for you every week. And so that's just amazing. The consistency, like round of applause there. The persistence and the speed were phenomenal. So yeah, we
yeah, I
can
definitely
do all
pulled
of the
off
things, but it's also important that you yourself as well, like put in the action to make it work. So one
100%.
question on that too. How much have you spent on ads?
Since the start of the process, we've spent about $500 on ads.
Okay, cool. Second.
Yeah.
We gotta pour some of that back into the ads. That's the plan.
Yes, yes. And it's yeah, it's good because we are stretching ourselves financially to spend more, but then also it's within, our means, but we're seeing way more results because obviously we're using a portion of that um money from that big week to pour back in. And so like I'm sitting in front of my inbox right now, and literally in the past 72 hours, we've had another 70 leads. So um, it's been huge, mammoth. It's a mammoth job, but it's also
Yeah,
amazing because literally on Monday, I've got three people that are interested in working with us. So I'll be on a call with them, and yeah, so it's very exciting.
that's a great problem to have. Too
Mhm.
many leads coming in. Too much
Yeah,
time with the DMs, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
And I
that
suppose that's, I would love to say something a little bit more. Obviously, people are going to watch this.
yeah,
Like I have never worked so hard in my life to produce obviously what's come about. And I think like
yeah,
you've got all the strategy and everything in place in order for people to succeed. And I'm the sort of person that's like, I'll burn the candle at both ends for a certain period of time to make sure that things are in place to see what we want to see. And yeah, to be able to experience such a high level of breakthrough so earlier on has been just so eye-opening, that really hard work and going and forsaking a little bit of extra sleep-ins and a bit of extra rest, like really does get you the results that you want. And I
mm,
think your coaching style is in like, keep going. Like I'd say, oh man, we had the biggest week ever. It's been tough. And you're just like, yep, that's what it's all about. Keep going. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, okay. It's like what it takes. And I think like your ability to recognize what we're going through, but then also be like, yeah, but that is nowhere near enough to stop you. Like, keep going has just for me been like enough to just like fill me with enough fire to be like, wow, like they've obviously ground so hard that they can see that I'm grinding, but it's not hard enough. So let's just keep going. So
yeah.
yeah, it's been cool.
That's I I see marketers or people in this space sometimes where they're like, this is so easy to set this up. You just do X, Y, and Z. And I wouldn't say it's ever like I would never use the word effortless when
Mm,
talking about building a business. Because there is, yeah, like those moments where you do sacrifice and it's hard. And yeah, you're putting in those long hours. But so that was like one of those key mindset shifts then that
hmm
helped with our coaching was just telling you to keep going and to keep showing up. Was there any other like key mindset shift that you had to make during that process?
Um, I think I think just trusting the process out of what I thought was right. And so above what I thought was right or was manageable for me. And also for like for my wife as well. And so like, you know, we know this space well, like relationship coaching and things like that. And so because we've been around it so long, but like
Mm,
your advice would not contradict it, but it was like, wow, that's a whole new way of seeing this situation. And so
mm,
like trusting that my mindset shift was going, trusting that you knew exactly what you were talking about and really leaning into this entire process above where my fears were and my limitations were and things
yeah.
like that, and just going, all right, I'm going to just put all this in place. I'm just going to forget why I'm afraid and just have a real crack. And obviously, like we're seeing the fruit of that come to fruition pretty early on in this process. Like we've still got some time with you guys, and I'm just really excited to see what the fruit of that's going to be, simply because this has happened quite quickly. So yeah.
What was there a specific strategy or part where you felt most fearful in kind of letting go of control and surrendering to the guidance?
Yeah, I would say definitely the idea of like, getting a client on a call and having them jump on board while we're on a call and talking about, their investment in the process. That was definitely a fearful thing for me. It was huge. And the reason why is that because my relationship with money has been so up and down. And so I realized it was an internal thing for me as opposed to and learning not to project that on them. And so being able to then have the skills like that Gerald taught to be able to talk to people about something that you're serving them with and knowing that they actually are going to get their lives changed, by you being confident and you being able to, bring to the surface the fact that they need to journey with you. I think, yeah, that was hugely transformational for me. Yeah.
I see it too. I feel like there was like a part during this process where you just surrendered and then you saw, and now, yeah, like maybe that money belief is still there, but I think it's changed quite a bit in you from even just investing in this program to then investing in ads and then being willing to invest more into ads. So
Mhm.
props to you
Yeah,
for that.
yeah, it was definitely a like a leap into the
Yeah.
program. You know what I mean, it's like Ah, let's go.
Okay, and then yeah, if anyone is watching this right now, maybe they were in your current situation before you started our program, right? And they were doing like word of mouth, struggling with getting eyeballs on. What
Yep.
would you say to those people who want to get clients online?
Don't let fear be your guide. It's a terrible guide. The possibilities that come through you, um, like forcing yourself into a place of being stretched is so profitable. And the way that that happened for us was obviously being with two professionals who, in their equal rights, are extremely gifted in what they do. And I think the big sell for me, or the big confidence that I had as a result of doing this, was that I didn't just have one person. I had two people to journey with me in different sections of my business that are absolutely essential. And I felt more cared for because it wasn't just like one person going, "Oh, I'm going to do my best to help you." It's like, no, you've got two people that are working around the clock to make sure that their guarantee is that you get to where you've never been before. And I think if you're sitting in an organic space and you're like, I don't know how to go any further, you know, I just remember their core values being like integrity, service, and making sure that they're people of their word. And for me, that was like, yep, I can work with that. Like I can roll with that, knowing that I was going to be safe through the process of growing my business from an organic thing where I didn't see the results I wanted to now already seeing it because I just decided to take the plunge and not let fear be my guide. And so, yeah, if you're in that space, like honestly, go for it. Like Gerald and Emily are also two of the most integrous people that I've met. So I think it's a great opportunity. Like absolutely a great opportunity.
Thank you for sharing that.
Pleasure.
Fear is, man, one of those hard ones, but once you take the plunge, you realize that it wasn't really that deep after all. And
Mhm.
yeah, during that process, you get to find out a lot about yourself and way more growth when you shed the fear.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's
So
been a wild ride and we're still on the wild ride. But
we
oh
just
my God,
started.
it's been so worth it. Yeah, we just started, but it's been so worth it. And I've already stretched, like I've already expanded, I've already gotten a greater level of capacity. And like obviously, what we've walked through behind the scenes of this. And you know, I've taken it as it's been hard, but it's been a blessing to go. If you can do it now, you can do it anytime, you know? And if
Mm,
like your business, I'm talking to the people listening, like if your business is hard now and you're still making ends meet now, like you can do this and get the results that you want to get on top of that. Like it's either you go through the hard and you don't have the breakthrough, or you go through the hard and eventually you get it. So it's like, which one is it? So yeah.
yeah. Which one is it going to be? Um, as you were joining and talking about Gerald as well, I want to touch on sales a little bit because I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of people who join the program, they might think that they know sales, they understand sales. How has it been learning from Gerald and just learning about going into emotional sales mastery?
Yeah. I'm gonna answer this. Give me one sec.
Okay, no worries. Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna ask a different question.
Sorry. You can
Okay,
put
no.
that you can put that bit in there.
Yeah, no, we will. I have two more questions after this and then we can finish. Sound good?
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. I hope I'm like doing you justice because I really do want to.
No, you're doing amazing. And everything you say is perfect. So yeah, question is how has your sales skills developed in your time in the program?
Um, to be honest, when I first started this process, I had absolutely no idea that I would have to be selling like the journey that people come on because I just didn't know that that was part of it. And I think, now having Gerald, let me rephrase that. The fact that Gerald is in this journey is like unbelievable. To think that people don't have an expert like him in this space helping them to sell their courses and sell their breakthrough moments that they want to serve people with. Now I'm like, whoa, like that is nuts that people don't have that help. And the reason why I say that is because the amount of skills and support and pre-done scripts and help that you get to have your clients feel like they can confidently come on a journey with you is unbelievable. Like to think that we wanted to change our business, we've changed our business. If he hadn't been in that aspect and not on this journey, I think that we just wouldn't be able to get people to come on board and journey with us through our process. And that's how much I think it's essential. Sales, I didn't know it was such a monstrous part of the journey of being online and having a business online. And so having so many opportunities to learn, even like the recordings and, him every single week taking us through, you know, here's what you could have done better. Here's what you should do in this situation. No, don't do that. Oh my gosh, you stuffed that up majorly, but here's some great things that you could do. Like being really real, like
Yeah.
caring for us enough to tell us the truth
Yeah.
and empowering us to do better and going, this isn't over. Like have another crack at it. Your next call, fine tune X, Y, and Z and see what happens. Like, yeah, it's been unbelievable. And like him personally being on calls with me and going, hey, let's just write your whole journey down that people are going to go on when they're sitting with you so that I can get you to a point where you're getting breakthrough and people are coming on a journey with you. I'm like, far out. Like I just I would have sucked so majorly and had no idea that all the intricate details that needed to be established for me to take someone on a journey to make them confident in me that my wife and I really could change their life. Because I know that we can, but it's hard to tell someone that you can when you don't know how to. So
Yeah. I love when Gerald is on calls with people and he's giving feedback and he says, "This isn't, this call right here, we're learning from it and I'm giving you this feedback because I genuinely care about you and we're taking you from good to great to
yeah.
excellent."
I
So, it's all
just remember
about,
I remember him with one person
yeah.
racked up. I was at work for my earphones in. He goes, dude, that was a train wreck. And I was, oh my gosh. I was like, facts, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it was like the next call,
Hmm.
that person put up their sales call to like get critiqued and encouraged and like refined. And he got the breakthrough. Like he got the PIF. So it was like
You got the
from
pitch.
one call to the next,
Yeah.
got this was a train wreck too. That was almost faultless. Well done. And even listening to that while I'm swinging a hammer at work, I was like, man, how crazy that that worked so well. Like I just remember thinking that in my head. And then, you and I both know like I'm pretty quiet in the chat. Like I'm not always reaching out to you and I'm not always like badgering you or anything like that, but I'm an information junkie. So I like just take everything in and I do it of my own accord. And like yeah, I've just been like soaking up all the goodness of what you 4 times a week that you're pouring into us. Like that's wild. And so yeah, the whole thing's been unreal.
Amazing. So tell us where you want to go. Like, where is the Marriage Co. heading? What's the big vision for this business?
Big, big vision.
Yeah.
All
What's-
right. Definitely like my wife and I have talked about we'd love to be in a position where, we're doing like 40K a month. We've got a massive heart to be able to travel. We're also pastors as well. So like be able to just go and serve be in a community, serve in a church, have no need whatsoever in a financial way, and just be a huge blessing as much as we can. That's one part of it. The
Amen.
other part of it is that we'd want to like put on free like citywide type wedding days, sorry, marriage like event days
Mm.
completely funded by us. It's completely free, and people come and they get resourced, they get empowered. We teach, and it's just all free. Like this is our ethos. It's like healthy marriage, healthy family, healthy street, healthy communities. And I
Wow.
think that's our massive vision. And this is just the springboard that we're taking right now to make that come to fruition and be able to change like not just one couple at a time, which is important, but like multiples and just like, our faith is in the mindset of multiplication. And so we want to multiply what we're doing here, but we're starting in this moment right now. But that's definitely our big vision. So
So much impact, generational impact that you
yeah,
guys,
without
when you help one couple and you transform their life, like their kids, that generation. And I have no doubt with the work ethic, with the transformation that you've already been getting your current clients, and just the heart that you guys have to serve, it's so incredible. And yeah, live events, powerful.
yeah. Oh, can't wait. I'm just like, that is my bread and butter. Like I just love it. So
Oh,
to get there, we it's in my head, in my heart, I'm like, that's not far away at all. Like the
yeah.
capacity we have, the drive we have, and the results we're already seeing, I'm like, that's not far away. So it's just we're in legacy build establishment phase, and I'm just going all in.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so grateful to have been a part of this journey. I feel like we've known each other for so long, but it's only been like 30 days you've been in the program, and I'm just so grateful to be able to support you. I know Gerald and I appreciate you and all the hard work that you're putting in. So, my last question is to anyone who's been watching this and, they're seeing the results that you've gotten. They know that they need to do this, but maybe they're just sitting on that edge. Maybe something's holding them back. They're just not sure. Like, what would you say to someone who's thinking of joining?
Yeah. What I would say is that um I looked for 4 years and I was never like all in. And the moment I decided that my heart was all in, the decision was made easy. And so if you're at the point where like you're 95% there and you're listening to this and you've watched Emily or Gerald and you've been following them, like all I can say is the leap is safe. The leap is safe. This was a massive, massive stretching leap financially for my wife and I, but hearing from them, their integrity and what they've been able to do in their own life and be able to prove that, and then already start replicating that in mine, it's absolutely, I would say, a no-brainer to be able to jump into this opportunity with all of the little micro fears that are intact. But I would say that don't let fear be your guide. Actually do it because, as I said earlier, you can either suffer without the results and have hard days without the results, or you can have hard days getting the results. And there's the saying, you either choose your hard or your hard chooses you. And while this is a stretching journey, I would encourage you to choose this stretching journey and get the results you want, as opposed to not and being stretched anyway in other ways. So that's my
Powerful.
that's my encouragement.
Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you sharing your story. And I'm just so excited to continue to work together and see where we end up
Likewise.
at the end.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be real. I'm very excited to see where we end up. So I appreciate all of your hard work and everything you've been able to sow into us. It's been awesome.
Awesome.